A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cromer Park for NPL New South Wales Men, round 28 between your Manly United FC and Northwest Sydney Spirit. Start off with, ladies and gentlemen, the canteen is open at the northern end of the ground, serving drinks and refreshments, and the far post will be open throughout the entirety of this afternoon's and this evening's proceedings. First bit of news we've got for you right now is a couple of flash scores around the grounds. First off, we head out to Wanderers Stadium for first grade. Important matchup this one here, and an important result that could be occurring here. It is currently Western Sydney Wanderers 0, St George FC 2. And in the other game at Lambert Park, it is Apia 2, SD Raiders 0. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the lineups for first grade here. Kick off in approximately 10 minutes time. Both teams are now confirmed, and they are as follows. First, for Northern Sydney Spirit, number 2, Aiden Mustafi. Number 4, Brady Smith. Number 6, Corey Kavanagh. Number 8, Grant Cornwell. Number 9, Callum Keeley. Number 10, Costa Petratos. Number 12, Jay Coates. Number 13, Simon Nicholas. Number 17, Raiku Kobayashi. Number 18, Andre Takami. And number 21, Noel Peacock. And on the bench, number 1, Christopher Marquez. Number 3, Kaya Williams. Number 5, Owen Henderson. Number 15, Sam Armson. Number 19, Zane Alawalia. Number 26, Dominic Tedesco. And number 32, Thomas Mason. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the lineup for your match. Get that little big bank fit. Unity Bank Treasury. 20 years of experience. Some of local. You can feel confident your money being handled locally and backed by Bendigo Bank. Only one able to make that grassroots connection. Meet Casey and the team at Community Bank Freshwater and find out how you can help the bank support you and support your Manly United FC. United FC. Whether you're scoring goals, training hard, or cheering from the sidelines, look and feel your best in the latest range of performance teamwear from Best Team Sport. Locally based and Australian owned, Best Team Sport offers ready-made stock and custom sportswear, accessories and club equipment for peak performance on and off the field. Best Team Sport is your one-stop professional football supplier. Elevate your game. Contact JK and the team at Best Team Sport, Unit 120 Narrabang Way in Melbourne, or shop online at bestteamsport.com.au and get your ticket out today. Ladies and gentlemen, flash scores around the grounds. First off, it is full time at Wanderers Stadium. Western Sydney Wanderers 1, St George 2. Also half time at Lambert Park, Up Your Leichhardt 3, SD Raiders 0. Want the best in home entertainment and appliances? Great service, great value, great brands and great prices. Head in store to Bingley, Balgalla or Monaco and let their friendly teams help you find exactly what you need. Visit online anytime at bingley.com.au. Big Little, better living every day. Those are all the two teams out of the field. Round 28 of NPL New South Wales men's. Northwest Sydney Spirit and goal. Manly NSW.
Just 3 rounds remain in this crazy race to the championship rounds. We're here at Cromer Park in Sydney's Northern Beaches for round 28. It's Manly United playing host to Spirit FC. Pete Pryor with you this evening. Absolute pleasure to have your company, as it always is, wherever it is in the world you may be tuning in from. The team news is in for Vlado Knezovic's Manly United. They line up as follows: in goal, number 99, of course, Mackenzie Siron. The 4 and captain, Jesse Perez. 5, Aaron O'Driscoll. 6, Saxon Hillier. 7, Stefan Zarobelard. 8, Kikeru Ono. 9, Ben Coop. 10, Darcy Burgess. 15, Max Martinello. 19, Kai Evans. And referee this afternoon, Ivica Kovic, of course, very highly regarded and respected throughout the NPL system. It will be Manly United to get us underway. They will be kicking from right to left on your screens. Ivica Kovic surveying the scene, synchronising his watch. The whistle blows and away we go here for round 28 action. Manly have been absolutely flying in a real scintillating run of form. Of course, unbeaten in 9 coming into this contest. Few would bet against them, even maybe barging their way into that top 4 as we posited atop the broadcast. Cornwell just hoisting it back into play. It's Burgess for Manly. Turned over and it's Kobayashi, driven straight into the legs of Kikeru Ono. Spirit FC with the early territorial advantage. Hoisted into the area. Kobayashi just halted in his progress, but it's a cheap turnover given straight to the feet of Kobayashi, who will just see it over the line for the first corner of the evening. Petratos making his way across to take. Of course, that wicked right boot, absolute wand. He's a real technician, of course, Petratos. One hand is a signal. Backstick delivery, swinging away from the goalkeeper, and at the end of it all, a corner on the opposite side. Petratos will make his way across to take as well. Look to swing it in. Perhaps might look to put this one right on top of Mackenzie Siron. Real massive bodies in the 6-yard box. Petratos near post delivery, it's not his best. Perez was first to it and just behind for a goal kick. Kikeru Ono's touch just eluding him at the crucial moment there. Again, Cornwall hoisting it in. It's a big air swing really on the edge of the area. Absolute pinball in the area, in the 18-yard box, I should say. Callum Keeley couldn't profit. Ono will just put his foot through the clearance. Just relieving that pressure valve. Pressure had been somewhat building for Spirit FC. Of course, in the opening 3 or 4 minutes here, we've had all the field territory. Here's Ono. Robillard just caught under his feet, and Noah Peacock is scythed down some 25 or so yards from goal. Wearing the scars of war for his sins there as well, Noah Peacock. course, made the move back to Spirits FC after time at the Newcastle Jets and also the Central Coast Mariners academies. Prolific figure in the under-20s setup was Noah Peacock. Petratos again swinging that in. Keeley will get his head to it. It goes off a couple of sets of blue legs and behind for another corner. Third of the evening for Spirits FC. Corner taken short this time by Petratos, who will get the return pass as well. Alternate angle for the delivery, which is met firmly by O'Driscoll. There's Peacock operating as a wall pass there. And towards Keeley, but passing lanes all occupied by Manly FC. Here's the Robillard. Just ran away from him. Petratos. Sighter straight into the legs of Hillier. As the pressure continues to build here for the away side. Aware of the assignment ahead of them, aware of how close they could finish to the top six. Weaving into the area here is Kavanagh. Sliding challenge from Ono. Final touch off the legs of Kavanagh and only throw in on this near touch line. Flicked on by Coop. Burgess tussling with Brady Smith. Well, debates are plenty between the two sets of players and coaching staff. End result as signalled by Ivica Kovic, just a Manly throw in. Here's O'Driscoll. Left a little short there of Douglas John, but he does well to recover. Burgess intelligently letting it run before Coop is somewhat unceremoniously dumped to the deck, just inside his own half. Plenty of action, of course, taking place in the state's top flight here in round 28. Of course, earlier this afternoon, the 3 p.m. kickoff, a match with really seismic ramifications in terms of the relegation battle. St George FC besting the Wanderers by 2-1, which sees them rise above Sydney Olympic in the dreaded race to the bottom. Sydney Olympic, meanwhile, in action elsewhere at Belmore. They play host to Sydney United. Sydney United, meanwhile, really looking to keep pace with Apia Leichhardt atop the table. Apia themselves in action at Lambert Park. 50 or so minutes gone there. Still 3-0 against SD Raiders. Focus, of course, firmly here at Cromer Park on the Northern Beaches. Both sides overtly aware of the stakes. Martinello and O'Driscoll will hoist one forward. It's a bit of an aimless pass, though, from the Irishman. Just on a different wavelength there. To both Kai Evans and Douglas John, who were occupying the wide areas. Not far enough forward, though, not high enough. Smartly flicked on there by Noah Peacock. It's Keeley. Not afraid to get physical there with Martinello. Does enough to win his side the throw. Kavanagh His touch eluding him that time. It's a bit of a cheap turnover, really, in fairness, that one from Corey Kavanagh. Giving the ball straight back to Manly. Martinello and O'Driscoll. Two centre halves just exchanging passes before working it wide here. Oh no. What's cooking here? It's a Robillard. Forced back and then opts to turn before having his legs taken away from underneath him by Kobayashi. Such a wonderful technician, of course, Stefan de Robillard. Equal top goal scorer so far this season for Manly United. Was on the score sheet last week, of course, in that 3-1 victory against Marconi. Slotting from the penalty spot, unerring from 11 yards. Here's Kai Evans, who was also on the score sheet. His first senior goal. Said Manly in that really scintillating run of form at the moment. Few would have perhaps predicted that after going so many rounds unbeaten, or without a win, I should say, in the opening encounters of the season. There's never really panic stations, though, here on the Northern Beaches. Trusting the process and trusting Vlado Knezovic's vision. Some are calling for him to be anointed as coach of the season. Robillard works it wide for Ono. He will stand and deliver. It is Rappels. Manly now looking to get into their stride, into their rhythm. And they're so good to watch, of course, in full flight. They look to chart a course towards a return to finals football for the first time since 2022. Few would begrudge them. Jay Coates puts his foot through that one. Met on halfway by Keeley, who just flicks it on. Petratos hooked over his shoulder, and Martinello stooping to get his head to it. It wasn't the prettiest of interceptions, but needs must. Periods works it forwards. Kai Evans. Hilliard coming forward. His opposite number 6 has just slipped, but it's a wonderful looking crossfield pass in the direction of Kai Evans. Coates had to be alert to it and was quickly and smartly off his line to snuff out the danger. Hoisted forward towards Peacock, met by the head of Martinello. Here's Ono. Burgess trying to turn one around the corner, but it's met by Takami. Now Petratos. Looking to stretch his legs. He'll have a go as well. Petratos! Oh, my word! Costa Petratos has just about taken the net off with that strike. From all of about 20 yards, unleashing, ferocious. Goal number 7 of the season for Costa Petratos.
Goal for Northwest Sydney Spirit, number 10, Costa Petratos. Manly United 0, Northwest Sydney Spirit 1.
And Spirits hit the front here on the Beaches. Oh, what a way to open the scoring early on here, and that start is just what the doctor ordered for Spirits FC. as we said, looking to maintain touch with the top six. That strike will give them no end of confidence. Absolutely wicked with the left boot of Costa Petratos. And that one, I'm sure, will find its way onto the end of season highlight reels. Coincidentally, his first goal since the 13th of June, where he netted a hat-trick in a 3-0 victory over Sydney Olympic. What do Manly have to offer in response? Coop trying to chase that one down. Forlornly so, though, as it just bounces over the byline. Spirit seemingly with their tails up now. Here's the goal scorer, Petratos, hugging the touchline before inverting. Being marshalled here by Douglas John. O'Driscoll able to flick it clear. Here's the Robillards, bringing it down out of the evening sky here. Working it wide towards Ono. Smartly read and cut out by Cornwell. Here's Peacock. Petratos maybe thought about the strike, instead lays it off for Noah Peacock. Tries to clip it into the area, blocked off and prodded clear by Darcy Burgess. Back with Mustafi and then all the way back to Brady Smith. The Spirit FC, of course, do have a very impressive record against Manly United. 7 encounters in the top flight. 5 wins to Spirit FC. 2 to Manly United. Never a draw between these two sides when they face off in the top flight. Here's Brady Smith. That's well cut out, well marshalled by Kai Evans. Looks to work it wide towards Burgess. Prodded into touch by Simon Nicholas. Well, the opening knockings here perhaps not going to script for the hosts. Of course, spoke about Manly's impressive 3-1 victory over Marconi at this venue last weekend. Of course, equally impressive last weekend were Spirit FC in a 3-1 victory of their own over Blacktown City. Here's the Robillard looking to offer a response. He's double-teamed and bundled off it. Grant Cornwell, the aggressor. Simon Nicholas was also involved. Well, that's one way to stop Stefan de Robillard, albeit not legal. Perhaps a decisive goal here for Darcy Burgess, a similar sort of range to where Costa Petratos opened the scoring just a few minutes ago. Certainly not beyond the range or capabilities of Darcy Burgess. Jay Coates will have to ensure that his wall is set just so. In spite of the distance out, he's still got 4 in the wall. Ono also standing over this. It will be Burgess. Jay Coates with a strong paw to it to turn it over the crossbar. It was dipping and swirling. A wicked effort that from the right boot of Darcy Burgess, forcing Manly's first quarter of the evening. Sea of blue on the penalty spot. Late runners arriving. Swept in right on top of Coates, who will just pluck it out of the evening sky. With Petratos. Peacock operating off the shoulder of the last defender. Timed his run well, but the pass just had a little too much on it from the goal scorer there, Costa Petratos. Siron eager to get things back on the move. Met by the head of Smith. Douglas John inserting himself into the action. Burgess helps it on to Evans. Petratos tracking back quickly, not quickly enough. Evans able to work it wide and gets a return pass here as well. Thinks about the cross instead. Opts to just double back and utilise Burgess. Worked all the way back to O'Driscoll via Pires. Now Martinello. Only United patient in their build-up, just pushing and probing and awaiting an opening. Martinello. Oh no. O'Driscoll looking to switch the point of attack towards Pires. Evans now. Sizing up the cross towards the head of Coop. Repelled initially. Anywhere will do for Spirits FC. Last year's premiers, of course, Spirits FC. Such an impressive season under David Perkovic, who, of course, departed in the off-season for Sutherland Sharks. Sutherland themselves, as we said, atop the broadcast, occupying that fourth place position in the top flight, aiming themselves for an Oz Championship tilt. Pires looking to get one in behind towards Evans, who stretches to try and bring it down. Skidding off the surface here at Cromer. Straight into the hands of Jay Coates. It's been a wet old afternoon in Sydney today. Of course, the surface here at Cromer Park, absolutely fantastic. One of the best in the league. Thankfully, in any case, the rain subsiding, making way for a really glorious evening. Conditions very good for football. Martinello again forced to turn that one into touch. Cornwall working the levers to hoist it back in towards Petratos. Robillard attempting the clearance straight into the legs of Cornwall. It's all a little bit scrappy and chaotic. Ivica happy to allow play to proceed before Saxon Hillier pinged for the handball as he fell on the ball. Thought the free kick was going to be forthcoming his way. It wasn't. There's the old adage of play the whistle. Petratos to deliver the latest set piece. What has been a real barrage of set pieces for Spirits FC. Prodded goalwards, repelled. Evans, Burgess helps it on very intelligently indeed. De Robillard now, Manly quick in transition. Coop sliding. Spirit quick to get numbers back as Hillier helps it on. Oh no. Burgess, busy, buzzing around everywhere. Slide rule pass for De Robillard. Does well to keep it in, or does he? He does indeed. does well enough to win a corner. How that pendulum of momentum can swing from one end to the other. Again, it's that sea of blue right on the penalty spots. Runners arriving again. Near post delivery, flicked goalwards by Burgess, straight up in the air. Anyone looking to get meaningful contact, it was Martinello with the final touch before Jay Coates seizes control. Kobayashi letting it run straight into touch, just in front of our vantage point here at Cromer. Very healthy turnout here, of course, as well on the Northern Beaches. That's really a spate of rain, not keeping the punters away. Both Manly and Spirit FC fans, both sets of supporters, getting right behind their respective sides in their quest for a top six berth. Simon Nicholas forced all the way back to Coates. Under a little bit of pressure, able to hoist it over halfway. O'Driscoll ran behind him, but he was able to flick it forwards and find Burgess. Here's Evans, bundled off it. Legally so, says Ivica. He's a referee who likes to let play flow. Here's Keeley. Cornwall's drifted wide. Smith opts to go central. Takami helps it on. Cornwall is pleading for it on this near touchline as well. He's got an acre of space around him. Spirit go the short side and central. Keeley and then Kavanagh. Now it will find Cornwall. One touch to set himself, second touch to deliver straight to Jesse Perez. Burgess. Nicholas with the up and under. Perez with his own up and under. Met by the head of Coop to Robillard. Intelligently again, letting it run. He'll get the return pass as well. Tries to flick it through his legs, but didn't quite make the contact he would have hoped for. Kobayashi now looking to go through the gears on this near touch line. A little tug of the jersey was there from Ono. There was indeed. There's no flag initially from the Lions person. Ivica again happy to see how the situation unfolded. There was no advantage ensuing. Spirit FC have a very good account of themselves in the opening half hour or so here at Cromer Park. Costa Petratos again standing over the latest of these Spirit FC set pieces. Flattish sort of delivery. Petratos might get another go at it here. Manly perhaps more aware of the threat possessed by Petratos following his opening goal from that sort of range. Again, it's Spirits working their way into the box. Couldn't find the feet of Callum Keeley. This time it will though! Turned home by Kobayashi. Manly caught on their heels.
Goal to Northwest Sydney Spirit, number 17, Ivica Kobayashi. Manly United 0, Northwest Sydney Spirit 2.
As the ball was driven low and flat into the area, straight to the feet of Riku Kobayashi. And all of a sudden, Spirit FC and 2 goals to the good. They work their angles superbly well on the left flank. Did Spirit FC. And inside half an hour, Spirit have just given their finals hosts an absolutely monumental lift. Unerring finish from Riku Kobayashi, who made absolutely no mistake. It's also his 7th goal of the season. Could Manly United's scintillating run of form, this 9-game unbeaten streak, be crashing to an end here at their home venue? Still plenty of football yet to be played, of course. We're barely through half an hour here. It's half an hour that's absolutely flown by. Manly United will need to find a response sooner rather than later. The more the time ticks by, the more that Spirit FC seem to be growing in confidence here. As Peacock with a little back heel to find Cornwall, who bursts into the area. Is he brought down? Referee Ivica waves it away. Again, it's fantastic work in the lead-up from both Cornwall and Peacock. It was Peacock with the back heel to turn it round the corner to find his captain. And in all fairness, it's a very, very good challenge. At the very last available opportunity to take it right off the toe of Grant Cornwall as he burst down on goal. It was Douglas John who timed that one absolutely to perfection, and he had to. As Cornwall just prods it off the toe of Burgess. Sergio Malfara absolutely animated on the touchline. Of course, recently announced that he will be departing Spirit FC at the close of the season. Taking up an opportunity, a full-time coaching opportunity with Sydney FC in the A-League. Be desperate to ensure that he goes out on a high note. If he can lift Spirit FC back into finals contention, well, they are in finals contention, but if he can secure a top 6 place, be some turnaround. As we said, they were last season's premiers. Had a tougher run of things so far this season, but they are very good value for their 2-goal lead here at Cromer. Here's Evans for Manly, though. Perez. What can the captain inject? Forced back to halfway, though, for O'Driscoll. Now Martinello. Just about everyone behind the ball here for Spirit FC as well. Here's Douglas John. Clipping one wide towards Evans. First touch just ran away from him. Unable to keep it in the field of play there, Kai Evans. Evans, of course, as we said, scored that one last week, but also racked up an assist. His 2nd assist of the season. Just 19 years old as well. Progressed all the way through the system here on the Northern Beaches. A real embodiment of what Manly United are all about. Evans, of course, been with the club since the under-9s. Coop flicks header towards Burgess, who will strike. It's half-hearted appeals for a handball there as well. Did look like the arms were very much in a natural position. So just a corner. A couple in the 6-yard box for Manly, including Burgess and Martinello, I think, who's being pinged here. It is. It's getting a little too physical. Ivitsikovic calling him to the headmaster's office. Tangle there with Kobayashi and Jay Coates as well, the goalkeeper. Kobayashi just trying to marshal Martinello away from Coates. Ivitsikovic will have to be eagle-eyed here, as the corner is swept into the box. Well, one off the training grounds, not proving profitable this time. Hoisted forward once more, flicked on towards the Robillard, who nods it on. He might chase down his own pass here as well. He does indeed. Burgess forced back to halfway. Hillier. Douglas John, he's got Perry's wide, but wants to go back inside to Hillier. Now Martinello. Manly perhaps looking to increase the ball speed a little here. Well, they're forced all the way back to Siron. John. O'Driscoll skips around Peacock before looking to inject a bit of verticality. Coop is the wall pass. Evans was trying to help us on, just wins a throw. Just under 10 or so minutes to go until the interval here at Cromer Park. If you are just tuning in, it was Costa Petratos who opened the scoring with an absolutely thunderous effort from about 25 or so yards after 13 minutes. Riku Kobayashi adding to Manly's deficit, or Spirit's profit, whichever way you may be looking at it. We've got 2 balls on the pitch here. Manly United trying to find a way back into this one. Desperately seeking a response. Spirit FC get us back underway. Just giving the ball back to Manly United, who were, of course, on the attack on the march forwards before the introduction of a second ball into the field of play. Coop again dropping in between the lines, trying to get involved. It's a swirling one, a bit of a puzzle for Martinello to figure out. Does well. Acquits himself to the task and finds a teammate in the form of Ono. Manly, perhaps with the Lions' share of possession so far, but unable to make it count, make it pay where it really counts, of course. Martinello, again, striding over halfway here to Robillard. Again, Manly patient in their endeavours. To O'Driscoll. Martinello assessing the scene, assessing the situation in front of him. It's a wicked teasing delivery, that from Max Martinello. It's a very good piece of defending indeed. I think it was Brady Smith who got his head to it. Forced into touch once more. Burgess just crowded out of it, but does well enough to win his side a corner. Can Manly have a final say? Well, we've still got about 5 or so minutes to go until half-time, so it certainly wouldn't be a final say by any stretch of the imagination. 5 minutes which may feel like an eternity for Spirit FC as they look to protect this 2-goal advantage here. Douglas John across to take the latest of the set pieces, swept in towards the back stick and plucked out of the sky by Jay Coates. Evans, then Douglas John tangling with Kobayashi. Final touch off the legs of Riku Kobayashi. We will take the opportunity to bring you some updates from elsewhere as well, of course. As we said, plenty of action taking place in the state's top flight this evening at Lambert Park. About 5 or so minutes to go there. Apia Leichhardt still lead, but SD Raiders have found their way onto the score sheet. It's 3-1 there at Lambert Park. Meanwhile, seismic result underway at Belmore. Sydney Olympic leading Sydney United by 1-0. Just a couple of minutes to go until the interval there. As we said, St George FC got the job done against the Wanderers earlier this afternoon in the 3 p.m. time slot. Sydney Olympic very much looking to counterpunch here. Or there, I should say. Meanwhile, of course, here at Cromer Park, it is Spirit FC with the advantage in the ascendancy here, courtesy of Costa Petratos and Riku Kobayashi. Sergio Malfara's side will be absolutely thrilled to make their way to the sheds at the interval with their 2-goal lead intact, if it does remain just so. Into the channel it goes towards Kobayashi. Well, they're claiming a pass back there. And Vincikovic happy to wave it away. Very vociferous in their protests. They will have a free kick though, as Cornwall has his legs chopped out from underneath him. Stefan de Robillard playing the role of the arborist there. It's Cornwall, de Robillard offering the press. Smith flicks forward into the path of Kobayashi. Does ever so well to keep it in the field of play, but Ono able to recover and get body position. Wins the throw as well. Very well done indeed by Kikeru Ono. Cornwall. Looking for the return pass here as well. The two number 8s colliding. And Ono, again, does well enough to shield it behind for just a goal kick. Player who gets involved at both ends of the pitch, of course, Kikeru Ono, scored an Olympico just a couple of weeks ago at Rockdale in that 1-1 draw. He's hoping to inject a little bit more verticality here, perhaps. Well, instead opts to go back to Martinello. As per, players doing the opposite of what the commentator might posit. Here's Hillier. Oh no. Back to John and all the way back to Martinello. Again, patience on display here from Vlado Knezovic's side. Martinello raking crossfield ball to link up with his captain there in Perez. Might have just stolen a march, and a couple of defenders here. Perez working the angle into the area, clipped forward, the flag is up. started looking a bit brighter there for Manly United. Jesse Perez looking to ignite the spark as we tick towards the final minute of regulation time here at Cromer Park, for the first stanza at least. Fancy there wouldn't be all too much time to be added on. It's been a game that's been very open. As Jay Coates resumes hostilities. Here's Kobayashi, who of course scored the second. Looking to deliver one. It's a teasing delivery for Petratos! 3-0!
Alton Northwest City Spirit, number 10 there.
Costa Petratos has sent his side to the sheds in absolute dreamland. Goal number 8 of the season for Costa Petratos. Goal number 2 of the evening for Costa Petratos. Goal number 3 of the evening for Spirit FC. We've seen the board go up as well, of course. 2 minutes signalled, the minimum of time to be added on. I fancy we may see another 30 seconds or so to be added on to that. Costa Petratos slotting it with aplomb right on the stroke of the end of regulation time. Spirit FC in dreamland, Manly United in disbelief. Coop, again, buzzing around everywhere between the lines. O'Driscoll, wide for Perez. Burgess. Does Manly have a response? A repartee before half-time. Martinello. Delivered flat. Coop lets it run through his legs, but straight to the feet of Mustafi, who hoists it clear. Back on halfway with John and Hillier. Hillier, aware of the urgency, sends it forward towards Evans. Mustafi will just see it back to his goalkeeper, Jay Coates, who will happily take all the time afforded to him before a peep of the whistle by Ivica signals half-time here at Cromer Park. Absolutely scintillating first 45 from Spirit FC. Costa Petratos opening the scoring from 25 yards after just 13 minutes. Riku Kobayashi added a second right on the half-hour mark. Costa Petratos adding a real exclamation point to proceedings just on the stroke of half-time. Manly United go to the sheds in search of a response. We're off for a short break here on the Northern Beaches, though. Don't you dare go anywhere. An action-packed second half coming your way in about 15 or so minutes' time.
Every week, hundreds of thousands of people turn up around football grounds around New South Wales. Parents, kids, refs, coaches and volunteers. Cardiac incidents can happen to anyone at any time on the pitch.
Right now, not every club has a defibrillator.
and the ones that do are not always maintained or ready to use. In a critical moment, with a defib, that could save lives. That's why Football New South Wales, St John Ambulance and Toyota have come together for Every Beat Matters to help clubs around New South Wales to access defibrillators, cover maintenance and build a register so we know exactly where every unit is around the state. All you need to do is buy a ticket through Raffletix. $5 can make a difference. Every ticket goes towards funding defibrillators and maintenance for clubs that need it most. A live fundraising board shows exactly how much is being raised. And every ticket you buy puts you in the draw to win a Toyota Corolla. One ticket, real impact. Help your club be ready when it matters. So buy your ticket today.
Bearing down on the edge of the box, Kushka. Inside one defender, can he get inside two? Battling for the ball, still there for Clark. Clark plays it across, and it's a tap in for Bailey Callahan. Beautiful feed, a beautiful interplay there. Harb versus Curto. He's waited an age here, his Jayden Harb. Takes 2 steps back, Jayden Harb, and he converts into the bottom corner. 1 goal apiece. It's Jayden Harb from the penalty spot. He's on song now, Kukushka. Touches the ball back inside for Bagaria. Bagaria with the shot, low-driven shot. Oh, it slipped through the fingers! It has slipped through the fingers. A calamitous error there from Tristan Prendergast. Armanakis plays it short. Nizam, he had a chance in the first half. Can he create a chance in the second half? Got Nizam! Well, it's off the post, it's off the line. The goal is given! The goal is given.
Good ball in. Knezovic lays it to Everett, goes low, Kienese! There's the opener for the Raiders. A brilliant finish from a man in a rich vein of form. Malbassa launches it forward. Franson heads it past his keeper. It's an open goal for McGrath if he could get to it. Back across. And that's the 3-point sealed for the Raiders. Yakov Malbassa. Now Rag. Can they make it 3 here? Malbassa again! 2 off the bench for Yakov Malbassa, and it is 3-0 for the Raiders.
Marconi looked as though they were finding their rhythm a short time ago, but they've been opened up here by the straight ball. And Evans is bearing down on goal. Kai Evans! His first senior goal! Taken brilliantly! Almost an ever-present since his recall. And they're striding forward again here, Manly. He might be able to double his money, Evans. Or can he find a teammate? Coop! It's 2! Disaster for Marconi. Manly are in dreamland. Poised. And he does find Bayliss at the top of the box. And then Yesic sweeps the ball home. And Marconi are alive. A hush descends over Cromer Park. And de Robillard scores. That should be the decisive goal.
Doing well to win the loose ball. Sutherland can't maintain possession though, and it's a nice ball over the top for Fowler. It'll drop nicely for Fowler. 1-on-1 with Nisic. Nisic gets a hand to it, but ball's in the back of the net. Zach Fowler opens the scoring here. Seymour Shaw, roughly 30 metres from goal. It will be Perez to step up. And it's in the back of the net. Jordan Perez, what a strike that was. Jordan Perez, take a bow.
Couldn't find the angle for a shot. Defers to Kobayashi. Peacock got up but didn't get. Will it drop here? Keeley! Spirit hit the front. We'll be happy to have avoided all those scares, but oh, this might drop here for Peacock potentially. Lays it off. Keeley, 2-0. Callum Keeley with a quick fire double. O'Brien. Major deflected ball. It's in. Blacktown have their goal back. Spirit have got superior numbers in space. Alawalia. Oh, it's in! Spirit have surely sealed it now.
Can we find a goal? Bedleg doing his best to try and create one for the home side. Nearly forces a chance. Does force a chance. And there's the opening goal of the Marcus and George City. Lucas Bedleg, 3 weeks running, puts the home side in front.
Fujita and Yamamura with a shot, and he's picked out the bottom right corner. And Wollongong have the lead. And now Tillo can carry on down the right wing. Great ball from Vlasiewicz. They're still going Tillo inside. Blocked by Duarte. And Krislovic has scored. It's 1-1. Fires it over halfway. Shaked. Ball over the top for Krislovic. He's in on goal here. Pokes it past Kunyul. And have United 58 just won it right at the death. What an impact the young striker has had off the bench. But it is heartbreaking for the Wolves.
Well, a very warm welcome indeed back to Sydney's Northern Beaches here. Cromer Park, the venue, of course. Round 28, a match with seismic ramifications in terms of the makeup of the top six as we continue to hurtle towards the championship rounds. It's Spirit FC in the ascendancy at the interval, leading their hosts by 3-0. Costa Petratos got us underway with an absolute bolt from the blue. In the 13th minute, Riku Kobayashi extended his size advantage. On the half-hour mark, Costa Petratos adding a third on the stroke of half-time. Spirit FC, 3 goals to the good at the interval. 45 minutes of action to come. And Andre Takami resuming hostilities here at Cromer, sending it straight into touch. As we see also often these days, modern football, straight from the kickoff, just looking to hem in their opponent somewhat. Well, we can bring you some updates from elsewhere, of course. As we said, no shortage of action, not only in the state's top flight, but also in the Football New South Wales League One men's competition. And a couple of matches there providing some real intrigue. Of course, Inter Lions in the match of the round playing host to Bankstown City. It is Inter Lions who lead Bankstown City by 1-0. Meanwhile, Bulls FC Academy have just put one on the Northern Tigers as well, in a race for that Pro-Rel playoff, which is, of course, given to second spot in the League One men's competition. Tigers currently occupying that second place position. Meanwhile, of course, Appia Leichhardt are in the box seat to, in fact, secure a premiership today. Meanwhile, it's Noah Peacock lashing one goalwards. That's gone out for a throw-in. In Sunday League terms, that's a carton. Just back on that Appia Leichhardt, of course, they defeated the SD Raiders by 3-1 earlier this evening. Sydney United, who are Appia's main premiership rivals at this stage, are currently down by 1-0 against Sydney Olympic. Match with real ramifications at both ends of the table. Olympic, of course, looking to mount a late escape from the dreaded drop. Here come Manly United, though. De Robillard giving chase forlornly. Had a change at the interval as well for Vlado Knezovic's side. Ben Coop withdrawn at the interval. Aston Horn takes his place as Manly United search for a response. Down by 3. Would be a massive result for Spirit FC if they can maintain their ascendancy here. Of course, victory tonight would take them to within just a point of the top 6. It's a real nightmare fixture for Manly United, of course. As we said, these two sides have faced off 7 times in the state's top flight. Manly haven't beaten Spirit FC since April 2024. Spirit looking to really add an exclamation point. Left-footed effort, just flashing wide of Mackenzie Siron's right upright. O'Driscoll clipping one over halfway. Evans felt he was impeded by Simon Nicholas. The referee says nothing doing. Good touch from Petratos. Good little layoff as well. Here's Peacock. Great reverse pass there for Mustafi. Driven into the area and repelled by O'Driscoll. To get that right, and did. Spirit FC looking to pick up where they left off at the interval. Here's Nicholas. Hugging this near touchline is Mustafi. Nicholas hoisting one towards the area. Not a clear by Martinello. To Robillard. Now Evans. He's going to operate more centrally this half. Evans. Slide rule pass towards de Robillard. Jay Coates quickly and smartly off his line to snuff out the danger. As it was looming large. Again, it's a transitional moment from Manly United. We can break quickly with great pace. Saw Stefan de Robillard do just that in their victory over Rockdale back in round 11 off the top of my head. Breaking through the hearts of Rockdale on that evening. Scoring a wonderful solo effort. He was unable to make any contact that time. Through the opening 5 minutes of the second stanza here at Cromer Park, and proceedings carrying on much as they did in the opening 45. Here's Mustafi. Perez not shirking the challenge. Manly's captain leading by example. The 26-year-old, of course, turns 27 next weekend. He's had his hands full this evening. Manly have got some more defending to do here. Little triangles forming here for Spirit FC. O'Driscoll nods it clear. Here's Nicholas, though. All the way back to halfway with Smith. Tries to inject his own version of verticality there. All too much on the pass, though, from Brady Smith. Perez looking to switch the point of attack to the far touchline. Ono. De Robillard tries to invert. Halted in his efforts to get forward, and Spirit FC, I thought they might look to try and turn the screws there. Instead, Keeley opts for patience. Has it pinched on halfway. Burgess forced backwards. And the United still searching for a response here. Hillier forward for Burgess. Wide for Ono. To Robillard. Ono once again forced back to Martinello. O'Driscoll. Perez has got an acre of space on this near touchline if they can find him, and they do indeed. He does ever so well to keep it in the field of play as well. His foray forwards is sent back to halfway by Simon Nicholas. And the United again proving patient. Spirit FC proving resilient. Now proving rapid on their charge forwards. Petratos It's a firm challenge there from Aston Hall. He's going to get a bit of a talking to as well here from Ivica Kovic. More than just a talking to, it's the first yellow card of the evening for Aston Hall. Off the bench and straight into the referee's notebook. Very late in the challenge there. Well, that's one way to hold Costa Petratos. Of course, does have 2 goals to his name for the evening. Goals number 7 and 8 for the season. Meanwhile, Sergio Malfara is going to be making a change very imminently. We can tell you that Sam Armson is stripped and ready for action. May just wait to see how this set piece plays out as Petratos swings it in. It is repelled, and a wild looking lash at it there from Andre Takami. Never really looked likely off the boot. Skewing off the outside of the right boot of Takami. Spirits FC will make that change now.
Number 6, Corey Kavanagh. And carrying on the field is number 15, Sam Armson.
Corey Kavanagh, who will be withdrawn. And as we said, Sam Armson injected into the fray for the final 35 or so minutes here at Cromer. O'Driscoll striding forwards. Pass only finding the feet of Smith, who looks for the return pass here. Has his pocket pinched though. It's a very good challenge that, you know, from Douglas John. Oh no, trying to link up with the Robillard. He's put a bit too much on the pass, just overcooking it slightly. Well, of course, round 28 action is not done just yet. Of course, 3 games to take place tomorrow as well. Blacktown City playing host to University of New South Wales. Marconi playing host to Sutherland. And Rockdale playing host to Wollongong. All 3 fixtures scheduled for your Sunday 3 p.m. time slot. Petratos, again slide raw ball for Mustafi. Very late challenge on Mustafi, and Ivica Kovic waiting to see if anyone would arrive to meet the delivery. Jesse Perez. Just left a bit on Adam Mustafi there. Just mistimed rather than malicious from Manly's skipper. As such, just a ticking off from Ivica Kovic. No card forthcoming. However, what is forthcoming is a free kick in a real headache of a position for Manly Blue. Costa Petratos to deliver straight into the wall. Bit of an up and under, might just find Petratos here as well. It does indeed, you know. Taken straight off the toe of Costa Petratos, crucially. Spirit in their endeavours to try and play their way out. Back over halfway, have just turned us into touch. Martinello for Manly. O'Driscoll. Hillier. All the forward passing lanes occupied by Spirit Yellow. Here's Peacock. pausing to assess the scene, the situation ahead of him before spraying one out towards the path of Kobayashi. It was well marshalled by the Manly defender there in Ono. Does well enough indeed to win inside the throw-in as well. Keeley in turn. Winning a throw for his side. He's been conspicuous in his quietness. Certainly in the second stanza so far has Callum Keeley. As Mustafi stands and delivers. Flicks header. From Noah Peacock. Unable to find the targets and cast any real sort of shadow on Mackenzie Siron's goal. Oh, that's a wonderful turn from Hong. Didn't quite stick the pass to match it though. Here's Smith. Good covering challenge there from Hillier. A couple of little afters there as well between Smith and Hillier. Spirit FC look to reset their attacking shape here. Have to feel that a fourth goal would absolutely well and truly prove curtains for Manly's hopes to get anything out of this one. Here's Armson. Sprays one wide. Petratos trying to get around the outside. My apologies, that's not Petratos. Regardless, trying to get around the outside of Ono. Does well enough to win the corner. Was in fact Kobayashi. Corner will be swung in. Near post delivery, flicked header. Petratos, bouncing ball, struck sweetly into the bottom corner. Costa Petratos has his third. Spirit FC have their fourth.
Costa Petratos. Manly United 0, Northern Sydney Spirit 4.
And can Spirit FC chart a course towards the top six? There's absolute chaos in the 6-yard box. Costa Petratos makes absolutely no mistake from there. He's been virtually unplayable this evening.
Number 24, Toby Bakewell. Number 3, Matt O'Donoghue. And number 11, Ayumu Kimura.
Vladimir Knezovic has seen enough.
Number 10, Darcy Burgess.
A triple substitution.
And number 8 for Carol Otto.
For Manly United, who now see themselves down by 4. Their 9-match unbeaten streak seemingly crashing to an end here at Cromer. Confirmation on those 3 changes for the hosts, of course. Kikaru Ono, Darcy Burgess and Kai Evans all withdrawn. Matt O'Donoghue, Ayumu Kimura and Toby Bakewell all introduced for the final 27 or so minutes. We can bring you an update from elsewhere, of course, as well. As we said, results that may have massive ramifications at both ends of the table. At Belmore Park, if you don't want spoilers, block your ears now. Sydney Olympic 1, Sydney United 1. Here's the Robillard for Manly though, bursting into the area, shifts onto his right. Now links up with Perez, who will clip one standard up towards the back post. It flashes over the heads of several sets of players there, including Kimura, who was lurking with real dangerous intent at the back post. Bakewell. Here's the Robillard and Bakewell stretching. Couldn't reel it in though. Peacock. He's been professional, workmanlike this evening. Effectively linking up and bringing teammates into play. Workmanlike, I feel, is a very apt way to describe this performance on the whole from Spirit FC. Take nothing away, take no shine away from their opening goal, of course. Costa Petratos absolutely lashing one into the top corner. From all of about 25 yards, a goal which I'm sure will be beamed across Football New South Wales end of season highlight reels. Here come Manly though. What do they have in response? Perez will chase this down, take it to the byline, and drive it straight into the legs of Petratos. He's had a very profitable evening indeed. Of course, 3 goals to his name. Another Manly United corner. It's Douglas John across to take. Flicked clear. Keeley will give chase. Keeley driving one into the legs of de Robillard. It will come straight back at them. Just into touch for a throw on that far touchline. Grant Cornwall will make his way across to take. We can bring you an update from Belmore as well. Sydney United have just gone ahead. 2 goals to 1 there, as they look to try and keep that premiership race alive. Flicked around the corner there from Kimura. Get the return pass as well, but all avenues blocked off once again by Spirit FC. Martinello. Let's try and link up with the teammates in the half space. Here's Hillier. Douglas John now. Then crossfield ball towards Jesse Perez. Mustafi first to it. Bakewell just lets it run and finds the feet of O'Driscoll. Here's John. O'Donoghue now striding forwards. Pulled into the area by O'Donoghue and then turned behind in turn by Brady Smith. Manly United with another corner. They've had no shortage of opportunities from set pieces and corners in particular so far this evening, but unable to make it count. What can they do with the latest? In-swinging delivery towards the head of Martinello, who perhaps just mistimed his jump somewhat. Flashing just over his head, brushing the locks of Max Martinello, and swept all the way behind for just a goal kick at the end of it all. Spirit FC maybe going to their bench in just a moment as well. I'll tell you that Dom Tedesco and Kaya Williams have been receiving some final instructions from Sergio Malfara. Martinello does well enough to evade the attention and the affection of Noah Peacock before trying to slide one in behind towards the Robillard. It's Brady Smith first on scene though. O'Donoghue, a bit of a puzzle to figure out there, and well, the only way he's able to figure it out is by conceding a free kick. It's going to be a triple change for Spirit FC. Dom Tedesco, Zane Alawalia,
Substitution for Northwest
Kaya Williams will introduce. Brady Smith off.
Kaya Williams.
Callum Keeley also off.
Callum Keeley, and coming onto the field is number 19, Zane Alawalia.
Bringing confirmation on that third and final change in just a moment's time.
Making on the field is
Riku
number 17,
Kobayashi.
Kobayashi, and coming onto the field is number 26, Dominic Tedesco.
So confirmation on those three changes, of course. Brady Smith, Riku Kobayashi and Callum Keeley all withdrawn. Kaya Williams, Zane Alawalia and Dom Tedesco all introduced for the final 20 or so minutes of the contest here at Cromer.
Flash scores around the grounds, ladies and gentlemen, at Belmore Sports Ground. It is Sydney Olympic 1, Sydney United 2.
So the latest set piece here for Spirits FC. Costa Petratos standing over it. No direct for goal himself, and with 3 to his name already, who would really begrudge him the opportunity? That one didn't have the mastery of his opening goal. Again, trying to play their way out of tight spaces, trying to utilise the full width of the pitch. It will be their throw in on that far touchline. O'Donoghue just marched back a couple of yards, keen to get things back on the move. Here's O'Driscoll. Unhappy with the options presented in front. Goes square to Martinello. Hillier. Driving one forwards. O'Donoghue tries to hoist it into the area. Will be another Manly United corner. They've been coming closer and closer with each set-piece opportunity. How close will they come on this occasion? It is flicked clear. Bakewell gets there ahead of Kaya Williams before Hulme is really scythed down just in front of us here. Wonderful feat there from O'Donoghue to create a couple of yards of separation. He might get the return pass here as well. He does indeed, you know. Near post delivery is once again repelled by Williams. Starting to knock on the door, starting to ask a few questions here are the hosts. O'Driscoll in towards the path of Pires, who is offside. Certainly not shy in getting forward in this second stanza, has Jesse Pires, as Manly United search for something, anything in response to this 4-goal deficit. Just over 15 or so minutes remaining here at Cromer Park. You can't help but feel that anything now, though, would be little more than mere consolation. But stranger things have happened. Embrace the chaos. Long live the Chaos League. It's Petratos. Makes it with his head. Armson. And up and under. Petratos. Good strength as well from Petratos. Trying to elude Bakewell. Doesn't elude Hulme though. Here's Nicholas. Stood up towards the penalty spot and nodded clear. Flicked on by Martinello. De Robillard. Pick up the scraps. John. De Robillard again. Just look at how quick Spirit FC are to get their defensive shape and structure back behind the ball. Here's Kimura. Nearly looked like it was going to open up just for a moment or so there for Ayumu Kimura. Meanwhile, Hulme tussling, tangoing with Mustafi. Hoisted in towards the path of Peacock, who draws the ire of the Lions person on the far touchline. Offside. This result certainly putting the cat amongst the pigeons for the final 2 rounds of the regular season. As we said, would elevate Spirit FC, propelling them to within just a point of the top 6. Certainly not curtains by any means for Manly United though, who would retain their spot in the top 6 if results stand. Petratos, again pulled in towards a penalty spot and sent clear as far as De Robillard. Had Hulme on this near touchline or in the half space really, absolutely screaming for it. Couldn't link up with him though. Hillier. Kimura with a sighter. Just dragged. Jay Coates happy to watch that harmlessly roll wide of his right upright. In no hurry to restart proceedings either. Vladimir Knezovic looking absolutely forlorn on the bench. Few would have predicted this result coming into this match. As we said, Manly in that real scintillating run of form, which is coming to an end here this evening. The higher you fly, the harder the crash. Peacock flicks that one on to Tedesco, who tries to turn. Martinello able to hoist it clear. It's Pires. Pass is picked out smartly by Armson. Peacock helps it on. Armson was felled quite some time after the ball had already gone. Instead, of course, Vlado Knezovic cutting a very forlorn figure. Meanwhile, Serge Malfara on the opposite bench for Spirits FC is just as animated as he was in the first minute. Really riding every challenge, kicking every ball with his players. Here's Armson. Nicholas. Couldn't quite find Tedesco. It was well read and cut out by Hillier. De Robillard emerging over halfway. Great feat to beat 1 and 2. Trying to go himself there, Stefan De Robillard, really trying to take matters into his own hands. How's the control from Peacock though? Wants a return pass and will receive it here. Noah Peacock might have thought about the strike Instead links up with Petratos, shifting onto his right. Petratos always fading away. Certainly his sort of range. Manly United will go to their bench for the final time this evening. Will Falder
Substitution for your Manly United
will be introduced for the final 10 or so minutes here at Cromer. Stefan de Robillard, who's just about run himself into the ground this evening, is withdrawn.
And coming on the field is number 32, Thomas Mason.
Intern Serge Malfara will also go to his bench. Thomas Mason introduced as they look to see out this result. Costa Petratos is withdrawn and embraced so warmly by his bench, making his way off to a hero's welcome. A very good night at the office indeed. 3 goals to his name. Goals 7, 8 and 9 for the season for Costa Petratos. We can use the opportunity at this break in play to take you around the grounds elsewhere. Of course, as we said, in the Football New South Wales League 1 competition, that match of the round, Inter Lions now leading Bankstown City by 2 goals to 0. Bankstown, meanwhile, have also had a player sent off in that one. Spirit FC with the latest set-piece opportunity here. No Petratos to take this time. It's a considerable distance out, but he may think about going the direct route. You know, he does indeed. Noah Peacock just flashing that one wide. It looks half decent off the boot, that from Peacock. Ciron comfortable that he had his angles correct. Pires. Oh, Bakewell's had his pocket pinched. Here comes Noah Peacock once again. Spirits unable to barge their way through. Manly's defence standing firm that time. Mustafi. Hoisted in towards Peacock. Good strength from the youngster. Taken to the byline and pulled into the area as well. Strike will arrive at the end of it. Initially from Alawalia before Sam Armson feeding off the scraps there. Sending it high and wide. Smart little back heel there as well. Spirits FC in party mode here. Of course, looking to give their departing head coach something to really party about. He's still here till the end of the season, of course, Sergio Malfara, before he takes up his new appointment at Sydney FC. A few little olays ringing out from the Spirit faithful in the crowd here as they maintain this latest sustained period of possession. Armson, Peacock. Couldn't quite stick the pass. Armson will have it back though. Spirit FC, of course, happy to play keep ball, really entering game management mode now. Into the final 6 or so minutes here at Cromer Park. Very good value for their lead this evening. Defensively sound, defensively resolute. But also very good getting forwards. Patient, probing. Williams helps it on. Cornwall. Williams might just get the return pass here as well. Turned it over on halfway though. Here come Manly United through Falder. Awaiting numbers to arrive in the box. That's not the delivery that one may require though. Falder. Perry's. All the way back to halfway with O'Driscoll. Again, everyone behind the ball here for Spirit FC. As Martinello sprays one wide. Donahue and Martinello again. Delivery from deep towards Kimura. Chested down towards Bakewell. The strike lashed goalwards by Hillier. Blocked off on its path to goal. Aside from Christie Park, can make their way back to the Arctic Circle. Absolutely spirited by this performance this evening. Backing up their 3-1 victory over Blacktown last weekend. 2 wins on the spin. As they look to mount that charge towards finals. Potentially, of course, as we said, the 3 points tonight, not quite enough to elevate them into finals. Here's Douglas John. They would be within just a point of that top 6. Here's Bakewell. The pass perhaps summing up the evening for Manly United. Of course, the 4 goals here for Spirit FC as well. Greatly assisting their goal difference. It really could well come down to that in the race for the top 6. Things are so tight. It's a raking crossfield diag there to find Perez. Touch just ran away from him a little bit. Bakewell firm in the challenge. Get the return pass as well from Falder. Here's Bakewell. Martinello's pass is picked out on its way to Hillier. Williams will send it clear towards Peacock. Wonderful turn to evade the attention of Noah Peacock though. Here's O'Driscoll. Now Perry's again with a bit of space on this near touchline. Inside it goes to Falder. All the passing lanes absolutely occupied by Spirit FC. So compressed, so compact. So difficult to break down. This has proved to be the case throughout just about the entirety of the preceding 88 or so minutes. Good first touch there from John. Good turn as well from Douglas John. What's the delivery like? It's not bad towards Perez. He was arriving late. It's half cleared as far as Bakewell. He's forced to go back and just recycle possession there through O'Driscoll. Bakewell wants it on this near touchline. He will receive it in a roundabout sort of way, picking the pockets of Aidan Mustafi. Again, Clipped into the area by Douglas John. Falder stood up towards the back post. Kimura nods it down. Hillier! A wild sort of lash at it there from Saxon Hillier. Didn't really make the contact he may have hoped for. Falder. Inside it goes. Towards Hull. Here's Bakewell. Nodded back to O'Driscoll. I fancy the possession stats in the last 5 or so minutes have been probably about 90% in Manly's favour. Such is the resolute and compact nature of this Spirit FC outfit. Found the going very tough indeed, as evidenced by that pass. Here's Pires though. Real tussle between he and Mustafi. O'Driscoll will pick up on it. Win his side. A free kick in the dying embers of this one here. We've just seen the board go up, signalling just the solitary, customary minute of time to be added on as we tick over the regulation 90 here. Manly have one final say in proceedings. Douglas John standing over the latest set piece. Driven delivery. Oh, what a save that is from Jay Coates, who is absolutely determined to ensure that his sheets remain clean. It's a real towering sort of header at the back post. Jay Coates at full stretch. Back post delivery seen into touch over the far touch line. And that will be that here at Cromer Park. A spirited performance from Spirit FC. Well and truly worthy victors here this evening. Manly United's 9-game unbeaten streak comes crashing to an end, and Spirit FC make a monumental leap in their efforts to propel themselves towards finals football for 2026. It was Costa Petratos who opened the scoring after just 13 minutes with an absolute thunderbolt. Riku Kobayashi added a second on the half-hour mark. Costa Petratos got his second and Spirit FC's third on the stroke of half-time before Petratos completed his hat-trick on the hour mark. Jay Coates, of course, a former Manly player, in his 10th start, keeps his third clean sheet of the season. Manly United will go into the final 2 rounds in desperate hopes of a positive response. Well, that's all she wrote from Cromer Park here on the Northern Beaches for round 28. It's been an absolute pleasure having your company, as always, of course. But from myself, Pete Pryor, I'll see you all next time. From me, it's bye for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can confirm the lineups for the under-20s at NPL New South Wales men between your Manly United FC, Northwest Sydney Spirit are now confirmed, and they are as follows. For Northwest Sydney Spirit, number 5, Owen Henderson. Number 14, Ben Giroux. Number 16, Charlie Broomhead. Number 20, Dominic Tedesco. Number 20, Tristan Hammond, apologies. Number 26, Dominic Tedesco. Number 27, PJ Dominello. Number 29, Anton Imbro. Number 30, Daniel Kassan. Number 31, Christopher Chen. Number 32, Thomas Mason. Number 39, Evan Zorbas. I think you're fine, ladies and gentlemen, with that. Out of the bench, number 36, Jake Rosenberg. Number 37, Jacob Sullivan. Number 38, Levon Vatana. Number 40, Matthew Shitterer. Number 42, Aidan Conway. Number 51, Sam Doherty. And number 56, Joshua Nutt. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the lineup for your Manly United FC. Number 20, George Russell. Number 24, Toby Bakewell. Number 30, Don Ross. Number 31, Monty Papel. Number 34, Reece Webster. Number 35, Seth Martin. Number 36, captain, Lewis Marcella. Number 38, Jet Kane. Number 40, Archie Brown. And number 93, Charlie Coles. And we can confirm, ladies and gentlemen, there is one to be added into that lineup. The bench at the moment, number 21, Harry Turner. Number 23, Henry Butler. Number 28, Aston Hall. Number 37, Hamish Purdy. Number 80, James Foles. Number 82, Sebastian Bergen. Number 88, Kip Harper. And number 89, Silk McGee. That is the lineup for under 20s of NPL New South Wales men's between your Manly United FC and Northern Sydney Spirit. Kick off in approximately